breaking news. We have a two-part headliner, and as the whole boxing world believe that the PBC will not give Canelo a guarantee of $35 million to fight Jermall Charlo unless Canelo agreed to some stipulations. And we will also talk about Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia New York press conference. And they both had a lot to say. You do not want to miss this one, as their arguments got a little heated and everybody got involved. Bill Haney, Eddie Hearn, Ryan Garcia's dad, and Bernard Hopkins. And this is the topics that we are going to be talking about today. But before we get into that, if you guys are not subscribed, please punch and knock out that subscription button. That way you'll never see it again. And ding that notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my new boxing videos. Alright guys, let's get to the round. Ding, ding. Okay champs, let's get started. So for the last week or so, the whole boxing world believed that the PBC did not have enough money to pay Canelo Alvarez the $35 million guaranteed to fight Jermall Charlo. But I never actually believed that the PBC didn't have enough money to pay Canelo the guarantee. I always thought they always had the money. But I did know this, Canelo has been on a decline and his last pay-per-view numbers haven't been too great. So I'm sure the PBC probably thought they weren't gonna make any money or even lose money. So I do believe the PBC has to be careful about managing their money, because when they were with Showtime, they did have a budget, but since they moved to Amazon Prime, they only got a distribution deal and no budget. And paying one fighter a $35 million guaranteed is a lot of money. I believe the PBC can use those $35 million to make other fights with other boxers. And they can use some of that money to build up other boxers that have a lot of talent, like Boots Ennis. Fighters that they know have a lot of talent and will be a big draw in the future. I wouldn't even be worried about losing Canelo if he's not a big draw anymore. Especially since Canelo doesn't want to give us the fights that we want. But the recent news was that Al Haymon and the PBC have agreed to pay Canelo Alvarez the $35 million guaranteed to fight Charlo. And this fight would have taken place on Cinco de Mayo weekend, but only if he agrees to the stipulations. If he fights David Benavidez next on September on Mexican Independence Day weekend. But according to some new reports stating the details of Canelo's contract, this contract guarantees purses for various said opponents, and David Benavidez was never one of the said opponents. So this means that Canelo Alvarez signed the 3-fight deal knowing that he was not going to fight David Benavidez in the first place. And also, Canelo Alvarez didn't want to agree for a smaller purse to fight Jermall Charlo, and also to fight a fighter that wasn't agreed to in the first place. I got so much to say about this, I don't even know where to start. I don't know if Canelo is a duck because he did not agree to fight David Benavidez. But one thing that he is definitely a liar. Do you guys remember a few weeks ago when Canelo Alvarez went to Mexico to sign a deal with Azteca TV? And the whole deal was for people in Mexico to keep getting the Canelo Alvarez pay-per-view fights for free. And we all know Canelo can speak English, but in those interviews he only spoke Spanish. But luckily I know English and Spanish, so I'ma translate. In the interview, Canelo was asked who was going to be his next opponent, and he stated he did not want to say much or any of his opponents because he does not want to complicate the negotiations. But he ruled out Terrence Crawford because he was too small and he would not get any credit, like he didn't get credit to beat the smaller Charlo. And he also stated it was not going to be a Mexican, but it was going to be an American, so that ruled out Jaime Munguia. So that left only Berlanga, Charlo, and David Benavidez. But why would Canelo Alvarez lie and say David Benavidez if David Benavidez wasn't an opponent for the 3-fight deal that he signed? So I believe Canelo was just trying to save face that he was going to potentially fight David Benavidez one day. I really don't think he will ever fight David Benavidez. This guy is a liar. Canelo Alvarez, you lied to the whole boxing world, including the Mexican boxing world. To me, you will always be known as a liar. And once a liar, always a liar. I cannot take you seriously anymore and believe anything that you say anymore. I just don't get why people lie. You will get more respect if you told the truth. I personally don't lie because lying is a sin, and I don't respect people that lie either. Even when I wasn't this religious, I was never known as a liar. I am one of the realest men you will ever meet. I will always tell the truth even if it hurts me myself. I am not racist, I am not biased, and I am not a liar. I only believe one race, and that is the human race. And I don't care what race you are, Mexican, black, Indian. If you're a liar, you're a liar. But that's neither here or there. Let's talk about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney New York press conference. They both made their entrance. Ryan Garcia came out with the Coldplay song with a bunch of chicks throwing flowers, I believe. Kind of reminds me of Rolly, 2 and 3 at the same time. You guys are rock stars. And Devin Haney came in with just a bunch of dudes bumping Biggie. There was some trash talk, but it was mostly facts. Nobody made anything up. They asked Ryan Garcia how did Mayweather show him the tape, and he answers they were both in the cart and he just told him, look at this. I know that was a while back, and do you guys think it was actual tape, like VCR tape? Because I know Mayweather doesn't have a VCR in his car. I personally know a few different ways how to get VCR tapes on a DVD or online, or even on your phone. And the easiest way, but the sloppiest way, is just to get your phone and record when the thing is on TV. But I'm sure the quality and sound would not be that good. And they said Oscar de la Hoya and Ryan Garcia are cool now. They actually had dinner last night. And Ryan Garcia and Bernard Hopkins are cool now too. They actually made up during the press conference. And Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney stated that they both rocked each other for the 8 count on the amateurs. And the person who won the last fight was actually Devin Haney. He won on points. And Ryan Garcia stated why he actually wanted to move the fight to Cinco de Mayo weekend. And talking about the devil, he wanted to compete with Canelo Alvarez on Cinco de Mayo weekend, stating that him and Devin Haney would have been a bigger fight than anybody that Canelo Alvarez faced. And the only boxer who could have rivaled them or maybe beat them was David Benavidez against Canelo Alvarez. So I believe Ryan Garcia wants to dethrone Canelo Alvarez to fight on Cinco de Mayo weekends. And tell you the truth, that does make sense, because I believe Canelo will fight Berlanga next. Yes, I know Canelo Alvarez is a bigger star than Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, but I believe the Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia product is better than the Canelo Alvarez versus Berlanga product. What do you guys think? Canelo Alvarez is a dud? I know he's a liar for sure. Will he ever fight David Benavidez or no? Do you guys think Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia will be bigger than Canelo Alvarez versus Berlanga? Comment below and I'll write to everyone back. If you guys like the show, like the video, share the video, subscribe, and that's it for me, champs. I gotta roll.